Okay, folks, welcome back. This is just how we were at. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, I was priming this little guy when it was time to change directions. I had to go do some things I wanted to accomplish today, and I accomplished that and more. So let's just say we've had a very good day. And now I got a problem I wasn't expecting. I actually have a fan in here, and it's too cold, so we're going to turn it off. And that's hard to frickin' believe. But, yeah, that's... The hotness in this room is it's a thing of... It's a ghost of Christmas past, that's for damn sure. Excellent. Well, we'll see if we can get anybody interested in coming by today. I feel like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Oh, let's see who's at the door, you know. All right, let's get a little bit of this primer here. Don't need very much. And then we'll finish priming the rest of this. I was actually a little concerned that I didn't get to a stopping point I would have wanted, but ended up working out just fine because we got a whole bunch of other stuff done, which we're not going to talk about until there's people on here, because I got some show and tell stuff that we could do, but no point in doing that and there not to be anybody around, and have to do it again. So. This is the Homer Simpson mobile. I don't know that if it's based on any particular vehicle. The lights on the back look like a Cadillac. The Homer Simpson mobile. Does Marge have a car, or she just drives this one? I don't know. I haven't seen that show since the 1990s. Really pleasantly surprised that I was able to take this undercarriage, and it fits pretty damn well in this car. That was a pleasant surprise. So we're probably going to do more of that kind of stuff in the future than, well, I said than we have in the past. We've only done it one time. The power of the hot glue gun. And there's probably other ways to do it, but man, they just made it a lot easier. less steps. This, by the way, is a red Nix vehicle. That's the intention. I don't think it's going to have a red Nix flag on it or anything, but I'm probably not going to do anything on the armor and stuff on the windows in pink. I'm probably not that. I don't think anything that I've. Well, there may be some pink things on the cannon here on the back of it, but I don't. It's not going to be heavy pink. The only reason this vehicle is pink is because the original vehicle is pink, and it's the Homer Simpson or the Simpson mobile. I don't know why the Simpsons drive a pink automobile. I don't know if that's like a reason for it, or there's a hidden message or something. Why is Simpson's car pink? Oh, it's a 19. Oh, it's supposedly, so it is a brand of car. I did not know this. It is a 1986 Plymouth Junkarola. Sometimes designed after a 1973 Plymouth Valiant. It's pink, likely for stylistic aesthetic contrast to the show's yellow characters, or simply to stand out rather than for a deep plot reason. Okay. Key details about the car. Color and design. Known as the pink sedan, it features a distinctive bubblegum pink. That's fair to call that bubblegum. Distinctive bubblegum pink exterior with a dented front fender from a trip to New York City. Identified in a 2017 episode as a 1986 Plymouth Junkarola. Origins. According to the series, the car was built in Croatia out of old Soviet tanks. Despite being frequently destroyed or heavily damaged in various episodes, it always reappears in the next Prepared and Ready. The pink car is considered as essential to the show's opening credits as the family couch. Interesting. Oh, and it's got an antenna that's bent too. Yeah, here it is. The Simpsons family car. 2015. Does that sound right? Yeah, I must have. I got it at the. When I went shopping for stuff. When I went shopping for cars, because I didn't have any, we started doing this Gaslands. This is I got several of them, and everybody drove a different car. Mitch ended up using a car called the Jungle Whip, I believe, which is a. I don't think we use that as a buggy, but it will be a buggy. That's gonna be for the sand dune, the sand dudes, or the dune dudes, surfers and that kind of stuff, ex-surfers, and yeah, he used that car. I don't know how it was built. We used this thing without any weapons on it. I won the race. So the first time we played, I won. I wanted to drive. I wanted to drive the. You can't crash fast enough to win. We're going to use this as a compact car and the alternative rules. So it's going to have 3 crew members. And it cannot take a lot of damage. It's relatively small. Can't take a lot of damage. And I don't know what its perk is at this point. It's going to be a 2-point perk. It's probably going to be slippery. It's probably going to be a slippery perk. Well, I was going to get on here about an hour earlier. And then I figured, well, let me do the stuff that I need to do. My daily is what I call it. There's a couple of games that I play each day that if you don't play it, you run into issues with trying to complete things that they want you to complete. And I ended up falling asleep unintentionally. So I fell asleep for about 30 minutes. I'm like, whoa, we need some coffee. And I like this, but I gotta paint the grill. The grill has to. We gotta do something a little different with the grill. But we had a super productive day. We did all kinds of stuff that we don't normally do, that we needed to do. And I don't really know that it took that long. I don't know that it took that long. cleaned out the garage, organized shit. Went for a bike ride, put air in the bike, went for a bike ride. It wasn't that hot out there. I fixed a birdhouse that we had. I had a birdhouse that the hole in it was too small for the birds to get in, so, and it's made of metal, and I got the Dremel out and cut it bigger. Did that. Cleaned the garage, blew everything. I put Christmas away. I know Christmas was still out in the garage, so you know, did a lot of stuff that needed to be done. Got the new cases for the stuff, so we've got mounted those. So we got this one and another two. So now we got lots of space for these guys to go. And we'll show them whenever somebody comes in that cares. If somebody comes in that cares. Hopefully we'll get done with this guy today. That would be, ideal. And we could start on the next one, whoever that might be. I haven't decided yet. It's not important. Decide what you're going to do when you're done with the previous vehicle, and then whenever you decide, finish that vehicle. Move on to something else. So I have enough display area for half the vehicles I own. That's probably fair to say. I could build half of the things that I have. It's about 150 vehicles. And we can display them all. And after that, all bets are off. I don't know what I'll have to do. So I suspect what we'll probably do is put some of the tanks away. Somewhere safe away, where they don't get dust. Okay, we are going to paint the bumper. So let's put some of this down. So you put the bumper color. It'll be able to adhere to that. There's the door handles. And a rear view mirror. Or side mirrors. All right, now while that's drying, let's go ahead and do some black lining. course, that requires dark tone. And a little bit of water if we need to thin that down any. I don't think they make any other Simpsons vehicles. They might. Any other panel lines on here? Well, other than the one that goes, like, say, around this grill. If I had to guess what car this was based on, I'd say like a Chrysler K car. But the lights weren't round on a Chrysler K car. Yeah, those things used to be all over the place. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add those little the tin bits. I can't stop calling it that. I don't know why it made such an impact on my life. I guess having the original Games Workshop color called tin bits. It was like a dwarf kind of a steampunk color. Paint it like this at an angle so we don't get any on the glass underneath. Now, hopefully that what happened yesterday continues to happen, and that is that I don't have too much trouble taking apart some of these Hot Wheels that end up being metal on metal. So you can those I have to drill through. And there's a couple, I want to say there's like two that I had to deal with that and I couldn't drill into them and I just like closed them up. But sometimes you want to break them open because maybe you want something on the inside to be showing, but unless you can get through that. And I had a hell of a time doing it. Other than yesterday. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have a short show if we keep that up. All right, and this front plate. That's going to be painted like this. going to go ahead and make this, like I said, this iron as well, even though this might end up getting paint over it. Well, even this iron will end up getting, you know, the steel, the standard metal color. Oh, come on. Okay, this is not, that's not going to be made of, oh yeah, it will. This is just to add some depth. I'm going to go ahead and paint the bottom of this, and I am not. Let's rinse this out. Let's try to color match this pink. I said I wasn't going to paint anything in the pink, but I think a few things need to be in the pink. That's close, but maybe it has a little bit of this in it. Yeah, it has a little bit of this. I think this is sunset red. Yep, sunset red. All right, and then we're going to, of course, it's going to have some metallic flake in it. Let's use something that's like a mid-range color. Like, I don't want to use like the really bright mithril silver because it's almost like adding white to something. It's a little too, it's going to brighten it a lot. It doesn't have to be exact, it just has to be kind of close. Man, where is everybody? Yeah, my fault, I picked the wrong time. Everybody, nobody hobbying. See, it's late in Britain. The land of toys. Okay. Let's use this to mix it. Let's pull some of this out. Doesn't need to be very metallic, just a little bit just a little pearly. All right, so we're going to pick some of this and a little bit of that. Okay, and that needs a little bit more of this. And a little bit more of that. And a little bit of this. I love doing this though. I love doing that. It's close. It's going to need a second coat. It's almost like a pearl coral. It's not, true pink. There's a program, well, there's many of them, but there's one of them that I've used a little bit on, really didn't do anything serious with it, but just kind of putzed around with it. It's free. Actually, it might even be a website that you can go on the computer and mix your own colors in a way of like, you add red, green, and it'll tell you what it's called. And it gives names for almost every single combination you could do. So you did red, green, calls brown. And I did one more, like basically 1 part red, 1 part green, brown or something. If you do one part red, 2 parts green, it calls it some other thing, and it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting in that, but it has a name for every one of those colors, and sometimes it's it's kind of a creative name. So pearl salmon. And I think you can reverse engineer it. I think I could take a picture of this and it comes up with it. I mean, it's not, I think it's just kind of curious. I don't know that it's that useful. Just like one of those color wheel. I've never bought a color wheel. I don't think it would be that useful. I mean, for me, anyways. I'd probably buy it and like, all right, I need to use it. Where the hell did I put it? One of those things. I mean, I may not be the best at doing this, but I've done this so long that it's like a lot of it is second nature. color mixer is I think what the one that I used is called. You wait for this to dry a little bit. Let me pull it up, see if I can find it. It's kind of cool. You can take a picture of this and find out what this color is called, according to the program. And like I said, it's just kind of a curiosity. So I believe it's called Color Mixer. Color Mixer. See, it might be actually tricolors. No. Color Mixer? Well, it may not be around anymore. One of those free. I know exactly when I get it. When I get to the site. Maybe it is tricolors. Open Color Mixer. Oh, this is cool. They actually give you colors. This changed quite a bit. Phthalo green, cadmium yellow light. So if you add like, cadmium yellow light and then one part of phthalo green. Oh, here it gives you a code, not the name. All right, this wasn't the site then. This wasn't the site. Color Mixer Online. There we go. Tricolors, Color Designer, Mix to Match. Let's see if it's this one. No, maybe they updated it. They don't do it anymore. Coloriffy. Color Mixer Online. Yeah, it's just from picture. Let's see. Gradients. Yeah, what I thought was cool is it would assign it a name. Like broccoli or like get mixed recipe. Change color. They must have changed it. They must have changed what it was. I haven't been on there in like 6 months. I don't think it's Color Designer. There was like, yeah, I don't remember the one. I want to say it was tricolors. How about mixing chart? No. How about recipes? How about mixer? Mixer basic. Yeah, they like added like real colors now. Okay, well, that was just a big tease. Okay, it wants me to take a pic. All right, so we'll do an image. See if it comes up. And we're going to upload the image. Select. Okay, and I picked this. It didn't give me a name. This is obviously different. Generate color palette. That's not very useful. They changed it. They changed it around. They had a different one. You could like they give you like red and green. And one part of red, one green, and you just literally click on it multiple times. And every time you do it, it'd give you like a different. It named it. Like it was kind of cool. It's kind of cool how it did that. Maybe if I do add a little bit of the, because it is lighter. Let's add the mithril silver. Let's not contaminate the mithril silver though. And we're going to use this to lighten this up. So if I get the color where I think it is, a little rosier, and then we add some of this. I know it'll change a little bit when it dries, but yeah, it's closer. It's a little rosier than that. It's a little more red. That's even closer. It's even redder than that, though. And this housing will be in this same body color of it. Just it ties it in. You know what? These recuperator. This could be pink. The shock thing, but the actual barrel won't be. It's going to need several coats, but that's okay. We're not really in a hurry. I'm actually thinking that this is going to look better painted, the pink. We still got those colors there. Let's go ahead and bring the metal stuff up to speed. Make the darkest one we have. Now the airbrush area got a complete makeover today. It is a heck of a lot more orderly, and so did everything in the garage for that matter. Not that it was that bad, but it's a lot better. Figured do that before. It gets really hot in there. It wasn't even that hot. And then we're going to go over this. Hey, what's up, man? 69 degrees? That's a hot day for you. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. Well, I don't know if you saw the video, Justin, but one of the reasons I did the video yesterday, that where I went through all my vehicles to find that CRV that I would have put money on that I had. I don't. I don't have one. And they don't really make one, other than unless you get like a Tamika one from Japan. Tamika is a Japanese brand that has normal vehicles, and they don't have exaggerated tires and everything. And they're relatively expensive, especially after you ship them. But I add shipping to them, so I don't have one. So that's kind of a bummer, That's kind of a bummer. But maybe I can make a different alternative white vehicle. So, and name it what I was going to name your white vehicle. Not necessarily because of you, but I saw it on a meme. I saw the name on a meme on the bottom of a, if you I don't know if you've seen one of these memes that'll have, something that's make believe or something, and it'll say, April Fools or something like that at the bottom. So you're like, you know, it almost had kind of like the trademark, so to speak, of whoever made the meme or something like that. And I saw this trademark in the last couple of weeks, and I'm like, I got to make a vehicle with that name on it. And then when you told me the name, the color of your vehicle, I'm like, all right, well, we could work with that. I thought for sure I had a CRV, but I don't. And it makes sense that I don't have one because they don't make one. It totally would have, even if you didn't drive a CRV, the mother-in-law had one, and the aunt-in-law had one. And I like mundane vehicles. Mundane makes it sound like it's a piece of shit, but that's a normal vehicle. So I may do that one next. It is a vehicle that I have not clear coated it, but it is taken apart, and it was one I was going to use for my Africa project. But we'll see. I don't want to get too excited about it because then it's still a couple hours away from being able to work on that one. But I did the morning show today, and then I'm like, we needed to put Christmas up. And Christmas was away, but it's in the garage, and it needed to be up in the. So we did that, picked up the garage, all the tools. There was some, like the charging tools that I have that are like drills and stuff like that. They were beside the toolbox, not in it. I got a toolbox that has like a strip. So all that's organized. It's all like happy, blown out. Probably getting another 6 feet worth of space in the garage. The other cases came in, so we had one of these. So now we have. Oh, what did it have? There we go. We have two other ones here. This fan's here, which I can't even turn on because it's too freaking cold in here. Good problem to have. And yeah, the bottom one doesn't even. It's basically two other ones like this one that's up here. So there's two other ones there and there, and I could probably make. And this whole level's empty. So I could probably make another 150 vehicles and have places to put them. So, good stuff. What else did we do? Freaking put air in the bike, went for a bike ride. I mean, just had a really good day. Had a beer. Great fucking Sunday. Usually I don't like Sundays. You got the, oh man, did you have enough fun? Because you're going to go work and you're going to have a week and and I had just a great freaking day. And it's still only 6 o'clock. Great day. So, yeah. Did I push you to sleep? Sorry. Sorry about the CRV, man. I thought I had one. Matchbox would have made it too. Matchbox makes normal vehicles. You know, you Hot Wheels makes like extreme shit or things that none of us are going to afford because they're just unreasonably priced real vehicles. Like nobody's going to buy it. I'll never have $100,000 car or $80,000 car. That's ridiculous. That's absurd. You know. I don't want any of those payments. That's another mortgage. took a nap. I didn't want to. It just kind of happened. I would have been on here an hour earlier. But that's all right. And I think I am going to add pink to the front of this. Now, this driver is not a female driver. It's not even somebody of it's not even somebody who's queer. It is just some guy that has a pink car, some redneck that has a pink car, and they make fun of him for having a pink car. That's the backstory of this one. Not that I don't have any queer drivers, which is, totally allowable in my world. This just happens to be some redneck that has a pink car that make fun of him. As rednecks would do. I lost you. Oh well, man, I guess it's just not a good day. Well, something had to go wrong today. But yesterday I was online a lot, and I didn't get a lot accomplished other than painting. And I got a lot less accomplished in painting-wise today. I'd say I had a better day. Fixed a birdhouse, did that too. Just all around good shit. Tomorrow's just going to go to hell compared to today. Tomorrow's just going to be a shit show. Alright, let me go. Oh, we still have plenty. Let me go use the restroom. I'll be right back. Alright. Temperature's freaking great. My feet are cold. Alright. Next step. Well, the tires are smooth. Interesting. I don't know that I've ever seen tires smooth without a tread pattern on them. Or, the ridge. Like, I think these will have a ridge. Yeah, they got a ridge on them. And that's what it rolls on. It makes them fast. This is a cool truck. This is a cool truck. Now, these actually say Matchbox on the side of the wheels. I don't think I like that. I'm gonna have to grind that off whenever we get around to doing this. This one say it as well? No. No, this one does not. Jungle Safari. Yeah, this is a Dune Dude. Dune Dudes. The Sand People. The Sand People, yeah. I don't know what we're going to call that too. Sand People, something like that. Ooh, does this come off? It does. Okay. I wonder if this is the same pattern. Oh, I wonder if this is the same pattern as the douche canoe. And you could actually switch this with the other one. I bet it is. I bet it is. Well, we'll have to check that out. Yeah, you know what? I can't wait on that. I'll be right back. I commandeered this thing. This is a thing I had for a long time. Just a standard toolbox type thing that with the cabinets that open, but we've got pieces, parts in here. These are the ones I took to the garage. Here, hopefully it's not too tall. We can close up. Like these are the parts of the Mustang, so we'll put all the parts of the Mustang there. Now here's the douche canoe. Or the one that we were calling the douche canoe. Yeah, it doesn't quite close, does it? Alright, we'll put it at the top. There we go. Now we can close. Does this interchange with this one? I bet you it does. I bet you it does. It fucking does. You better believe it. Look at that. Look at that. So, if I did not want to make the douche canoe the station wagon, I could make it this one. That's pretty freaking cool. That is really That's really, really cool. All right. This is the same body as the guy I called Jungle Jim. I got a Jungle Jim guy here. It's got like a top. I wonder if he's got a top that's interchangeable. Man, these things are really cool. All right, let me see if I can find these. He's in a British box. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Well, I wasn't expecting that to happen. A lot of noise and no damage. Okay, find the one that has a London bus in it. Perfect. Well, that system that we did yesterday helped a lot because I was able to find it relatively quick. All right. So this guy right here, Land Rover, should be the same as this one, and it should have a top that's interchangeable. Let's see what's on here. I mean, it's not like you couldn't just take this stuff up and glue it, but like a freaking Bengal tiger Ben or something. But is this removable? Maybe this one is not. Everything points to these being exactly the same. Yes, they are. Yep, they have that same pattern. What's here? A bunch of supplies and boxes and shit. I could probably turn this into a hearse. Because I want a hearse. I specifically need a hearse for one of my vehicles. So you could do the douche canoe. But that's funny. If I would have had this as a kid, this would end up getting pulled off and probably lost. That's what happens when you're a kid. You lose shit, you know? One moment you're playing with it in dirt, next thing you know, it's gone. Yeah, the little different. It's got little lights up here. It's got a chainsaw. It's a tent stake, something like that. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I guess nobody's gonna fucking come on. Oh well. Well, I could leave at any moment and I won't upset anybody. Yep. I actually got this set specifically for this vehicle because of the canoe. What's this on the side of it? Alright. These are super readers? They are the super readers. Alright, let's get back to mixing this pink, and we're going to do an overpaint on the pink. On some of these things that tie together with it. Alright, so this is Sunset Red. And whatever color this is now, you can't tell anymore. This is an old ass color. Bought many moons ago. At the time, Brookhurst Hobbies were the only people that I knew of that had Vallejo. I mean, we're talking like 2000, 2001, something like that. The only people that carried Vallejo. And when I first saw Vallejo, I thought, whoa, an eyedropper. Well, that's freaking great. That works really well with the way I paint things. Very complementary to the way I paint things. I think we'll add the metallic at the very end. Well, I think we're going to do a lot of cool stuff this week. I hope so. I say I'm going to have free reign, but I really have free reign all the time. This is a real easy hobby to do for me. At home, on my home situation. This would probably drive somebody crazy. Man, you're going over the same color multiple times. I don't mind it. It's kind of a impressionistic painting sometimes. Still got to tinker with the color a little bit when you get to the final stages of it. I think I need to introduce a new color. I think I need to introduce Old Rose. I think that's what it is it's more Old Rose. Let's see what we got here. We got one of these troublemaker colors. These things are really old. And if it was a color that I used more often, it'd be a bigger problem. But it's not really a color I use very often. So let's go ahead and actually pull it out. I think this color actually covers really well. I think that should be plenty of it. That's what this blend here is missing. It's missing the tones that are in this Old Rose. Add a little bit of water. I'll take this cup. Oh, a little too much. Hold on. Fuck yeah, that's what we needed. That's what it needed. Yep. And it doesn't have to be perfectly the same. It just kind of has to be like they wanted to just make it look like it was part of the vehicle. So you're not looking at something that has a bunch of different tones and things like that don't go with it. Doesn't look like an eyesore. Overbrush this like they put paint on it, but they didn't primer it properly. So the paint, didn't stick on there really well. All these vehicles have like a backstory, They all have some kind of a backstory. Sometimes wish the game had more detail than it does. But then it'd take even longer to play, and it does take 3-4 hours to play a game. Not being rushed. That's like a freaking nailed that match. Yeah, Old Rose. Had to bring Old Rose in. Yeah. And I do like whittling away at like the colors and stuff like that and trying to get it to. It's kind of cool. I enjoy it anyways. Somebody came on, took a look. Oh, he's painting a pink car. Fuck this shit. I'm out of here. And we're trying to mix it up. They can't all be, muscle cars. I can tell you, this one used to be called Pinky Pinkelstein. And I probably would have continued calling this one Pinky Pinkelstein if I didn't happen upon what I'm going to call this car instead. And Pinky Pinkelstein is a good name. It's just not as funny as what the name of this car is going to be. So, all right, let's just take it one step at a time. The barrel of the gun is not going to be changed from it's going to be natural metal. Okay, and it's some kind of cannon, right? The gate's going to be treated like a minigun, but it is obviously not a minigun. It's a pretty cool looking cannon. It's just, it's going to behave just like a minigun. 4 dice. I don't know what that means. It fires some kind of fragmentation round, right? Obviously it does not fire as fast as a minigun. And we have some kind of special fragmentation round that has the same effect. Or a similar effect in game terms. Now, things that are pink, things that are yellow, they paint up really well. As a general rule, they paint up really well. All right. We're going to take this and we're going to overpaint. It doesn't need to cover it well. I don't want it to cover it well. Just something like that. Just it ties in. It's not like too outlandish. All right, I believe we made this. We need more old rose. And this. And then we'll do the same thing in the back, but there is a window down there. So we want to hit this at an angle so that we don't have any of the bristles that go through, paint the window, and then we have a different kind of a problem that is very hard to fix and looks annoying. So we still want to leave some of the metal color in there, some of the corroded type of metal on there as well. And do the same thing on the windows here. Same thing on this mesh. And the same thing here. typically still want some of the metal showing on the front. I'm not going to get a really good idea of this thing until we end up like putting the mud and shit on there. Now I could paint the wheels, the hubs, a different color. I don't think I am. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take all right. I want to do that before I go and paint the lights. I don't want to cover up the way the lights look. Okay, let's move these colors over here and get chocolate brown. Good old chocolate brown. Let's move this out of the way so we don't accidentally put that there, and this guy down here as well. All right, chocolate brown away. Oh, wrong one. Close, but no cigar. U.S. field drab. Yeah, we should be able to get this guy done today. go to the front. And we want it to look like it kind of went to a mud bog, so to speak. All right, now we're going to do Iraqi sand. No, that's dark sand. It's close. Iraqi sand is right here. I've been pretty happy just doing this. I mean, I know they make all kinds of like mud effects and things like that. That's just a way to get you to spend money. You know, like I'm happy with the stuff that I have. This is a dirty redneck car. It's not some prissy Barbie doll thing. It just happens to be that color. Happens to be that color because it's, you know, Homer's car. That's it. All right, some black lining, headlamps, all the fun stuff. Man, I'm not being sarcastic. That's actually the stuff that I like. Actually, I pretty much like everything other than priming. The priming, just like I figured any idiot can do that. And they can if they choose to do it. I've been painting for a long time, but my first years painting, did not involve priming anything. I was a kid. It was the 80s, you know. I don't know any better. You know? If you told me as a kid, yeah, you need to prime something for, well, what's priming? That's painting something, but painting it in a color that you're going to cover up with other paint, and you're not going to bother to do it. So it's like basically like a rough draft for a paper. Yeah. Okay. So that's basically what it is. Well, yeah, that's kind of what it is. Never mind. I'm not going to do it. I wouldn't have done that as a kid. You asked me to do something and then cover over what I just did. No comprende. All right, I think we need to do the headlamps now. I mean, today's been the record. Today's been the record of like the most amount of time being on here. Really, with if Justin would not have come back there and got done an upscope, not a soul. Is there a world war going on that I don't know about? I guess I should probably look that up. Where's our little thing that we use to prop this up? That seems to be working pretty well. Just get a little bit of an angle. All right, we're gonna mix a little bit of no, we need some clean water. What's causing that damn sound? What's causing that damn sound? Oh well, it's not annoying anybody. There's nobody here. All right, we're gonna paint the whole thing in this dark gray. All right, then we're going to lighten it up some, and we're going to paint this semicircle towards the bottom. Oh, too bright, too big of a change. I hated painting headlamps until I found a way that I was really happy with. That was fucking great. You're back. Man, I'm glad you're back, man. It was like literally, if I hadn't had, and I have a lot of good stuff to talk about, but if I hadn't had such a great day, and I really had a great fucking day, it's amazing. So after I left, what did I do? Well, we needed to put Christmas up. Christmas was packed away, but it was in the garage. So I should do a garage tour like tomorrow. Like it's like neater than it's ever been. So all my tools and stuff that I had some battery operated drills and stuff that were beside the toolbox, not on it, and everything, all that's done. Cleaned up the airbrush area, which I don't think has ever been cleaned up. Like the stuff underneath and stuff. So that's all like in order. What else did we do? I found a birdhouse in there. I cut a hole with a Dremel, made the birdhouse bigger. Cleaned out the whole garage. Cut up a bunch of boxes. My cases are my cases arrived. So just like this one, now I have two other ones. Let's see, there and there. So I could probably do 150 more cars, and we have somewhere to put them. Good, because we have them. What else? Went for a bike ride. I mean, it's just like just super positive day, super positive day, and it's like what I've said before. I like having multiple activities because if I can sit here and paint for 11 hours, and then at the end of the day, like, what did you do? Only one thing. But if you mix it up, like doing some house, it was the garage. It wasn't that hot out there, you know. Yeah, I mean, just have had a really good day. So, check that out. Those are gonna look good. They are, man. They are. I pulled these things out. I found out something. This car that I specifically got for douche canoe. Okay, the top of it comes off. It's the same top that these two Land Rovers have as well. It has the same thing, so you can literally switch these things out if you wanted to. So I don't know if this is going to be douche canoe or it'll be this one. I'm, the only bad thing about it is that I don't have a CRV for Justin. I wanted to do I wanted to a shout out to Justin. It wasn't going to be Justin's not going to drive the vehicle. Because Justin, you're probably not a criminal. You probably don't have you're not a rapist or whatever these guys are. All these people that are on the Gaslands team, they're horrible individuals. It's like if they all die in the race, it's a good day because they don't deserve to live. But just a shout out kind of thing. Same thing I did with Rick's car, something like that. So I think we'll have to do a different white vehicle. But they don't make a CRV. They don't make a CRV. I thought I had one. I've got two RAV4s. So, but yeah, slow day. It's okay. Think about much longer. I'm going to get this guy done. If you're going to be on, I'll be on. Okay. I understand people have other things to do, but and like tell you, if I hadn't done all the stuff that I did earlier, I'd be like bummed out. Like, man, nobody's coming to this. Man, I'm doing this show. Nobody's here. I'm like, I got so much shit done. Stuff I never do. Had a beer too. It's like while I was working. So took a nap inadvertently. Came back in from the bike ride. Took a shower. I'm like, all right, let me have an apple, and I fell asleep and did my daily turns on what is it that I do? World of Warships. Stupid fucking game, but it's something to do. So yeah, I plan on being on here. You'll be on. Got some basing to go. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go pee. Gonna refill on this. I'll be right back, and we'll finish the Homer sectional. And I tell you a little bit about the backstory of this guy. So I've got several weapons, this including this one, that don't really fit into the category of any of the weapons within the game. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter what the fuck this is. This will behave like a chain gun. It's just 4d6. Now, whether that means it's a shotgun that it doesn't it has some kind of fragmentary round that doesn't fire very fast, but there's a lot of rounds in the air or whatever, something like that. Because this is a cool gun. I've had it a long time. The only reason I haven't used it on anything is because it's like too small to be a 125 millimeter cannon that's in the game. I don't know why they picked 125, but they did. You got 2 beers and took 1 hit of weed. It's medicine. Well, that stuff is supposed to chill you out. I know 3 people that were self-medicators of that, and they were always high-strung. And the reason I was told is like they're chill while they're doing that, but if they don't have it, it winds them the fuck up. I guess that would be like me and coffee, but. Not having my coffee like, but coffee's not really mind altering. It's like a morale boost. I don't know how I'm gonna get this done. And you have a coffee like, all right, bring it. What's this? Lead belcher. Blah. That should be named for a weapon. Lead belcher. That's what they should have called the phalanx system on the Navy ships. What do you want to call it? Lead belcher. Blah. Just. But then they'd be like, we can't call it that. Why? People will think that we're poisoning the environment with lead. I had 1 beer, tried to get slow, and started feeling like I needed to hydrate, so that was enough. But that wasn't while doing this. I was out in the garage. Weed is legal in Michigan. No card. Need up to 2 2-ounce mix. So what I want to know is, why don't they make it smell better? Because in principle, I don't give a shit what people do. But I don't want to smell that. It smells like roadkill. It smells like you ran over a skunk. Like, give me even an example, okay? When I went to Spain, I don't think I smelled pot once. But when I went to Spain, a lot of people smoked there, like cigarettes, right? I'd say 30%, more than 30%. Half the people smoke, okay? But whatever it smells like, it smells different than cigarettes in the United States. It smells better. The cigarettes in the United States are pungent. I actually hate the smell of like a cigar. I used to smoke. I had a guy's like, yeah, I smoke for the taste. I'm like, I don't. I smoke because I'm a fucking addict. And you go out and weed smells great. Okay, well maybe that's why you're into it. I think it smells horrible. It's just the cigarettes smell different in Spain. They do. Now, what always smells good is a pipe. Like tobacco pipe. Every time and nobody does that anymore, but that actually smells good. It smells better than like, incense and stuff that people light in their freaking house. Okay, these bolts, I think we'll make these bolts metallic color. I wonder if there's anybody that smokes pot that hates the smell of pot. Well, that would be like, that wouldn't make any sense then, would it? All right, it's drippings time. Well, the Dune Dudes, the stuff you smoke is weeding cake sativa. Well, I've never done drugs, but if I had to do drugs, it'd be coke. Is that way I can do all my work done. And then oh man. Glueland. That's why it says that. Don't touch that. That's Glueland. Stop. Get your hands off it. Background story. The Homer sectional. This is a redneck dude, right? It's a redneck car. It will be now. Guy's named Homer, and they make fun of him because he drives a pink car. So, ignorant people call him the Homer sectional. But he's not gay or anything, We got other drivers that are gay. This guy just some redneck dude, and his buddies call him a Homer sectional to make fun of him. That's it. That's the story. Oh, and he's a criminal too, of course. Otherwise he wouldn't even be in this race. The Homer sectional. I wouldn't have called it that if it wasn't Homer's car. I mean, it kind of makes sense, But this was the first vehicle that I used in a Gasland race, not modified. And the first time we played Gaslands, everybody brought their stuff. Everybody had purchased cars and then designed them on the fly when they weren't very different from each other. And this is the one that I used because I figured it'd be ridiculous to shoot people with a pink car, right? Like, you got your ass beat by somebody in a pink car kind of thing, Well, they did. I won the race. And I called my car Pinky Pinkelstein. That was this car was Pinky Pinkelstein. It obviously does not have these kind of wheels and everything. So, and I probably would have been perfectly fine building it as Pinky Pinkelstein, but I don't remember what it had. Probably had a chain gun or something like that. Well, technically, it's got a chain gun now, but we're gonna build this as a compact car. So, it's got 3 people in it. Where is it? Yeah, I'm already losing track of my builds here. Yeah, it's got a chain gun. It's a compact car, so it's only 6 points. The chain gun is 5, so that's 11, and it's gonna have a 2-point perk, whatever it might be. Probably slippery, because you don't want to. It doesn't want to get hit because it'll explode. Now, so it's kind of like a buggy. It goes as fast as a buggy, but it doesn't have as many skid dice, and it doesn't have a roll cage. So that's a problem. A roll cage, if it flips or whatever, you're not going to take 2 points of damage from it. So, all right, what do we got? That is soft tone. We'll do a little bit of strong tone. We'll put that in the middle. That's red brown. So let's do some soft tone and light tone. Coke sucks. What about Coke Zero? First thing I noticed when I stopped smoking, everything stinks. You don't notice that when you're smoking. You go to a restaurant, you have a cigarette after the restaurant, you don't smell the restaurant because you smell like fucking cigarettes, right? And then when you don't smoke anymore, you're like, man, I don't want to go to that restaurant anymore. Why? I smell like a greasy skillet when I'm done. Stuff you never noticed before. All right, some clean agua. There we go. So this is another halvesy vehicle. So if the standard is 27 points for a vehicle, right, like everybody gets 27 points, maybe one player gets two vehicles that are 13. You know, or you could make 113 and 114 by giving one of the guys grenades or something like that. You know, but just different ways to mix it up, you know. And I believe one of these light vehicles, and there's some buggies that are like Hippie-Ki-Yay. Hippie-Ki-Yay is a buggy, but it's a 27-point vehicle. It's well armed. I mean, it's got turreted rockets and stuff like that. That's a Dune dude's car. So those guys definitely like the weed. The Dune dudes are going to be like surfers, weed guys, and sand people. So technical stuff like that. Anybody that just likes to hang out and, you know, on the beach bums. Because there's a lot of like beach bummy vehicles that are really cool, you know. And again, you could always play them in a free race. It's just, they're just associated by style of vehicle or theme. It doesn't really, you know, they don't get anything like for free. Justin, you played Gaslands or want to play or don't care or, you know, I mean, ultimately it doesn't really matter. I'm not necessarily promoting. That's just what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing right now. I love the vehicles. You know, I haven't played since January, but this is what I like to build because they're cool, you know, and you like do something completely different. And we'll probably do some tanks for this, but I've done a lot of tanks. But the Japanese one, or I'm sorry, the frickin' Asian one is going to be called Paper Tiger, and it will be a tiger tank. It won't behave like a tiger tank. It's just, you know, it's physically going to look like a tiger tank. And it's going to be the Paper Tiger. And the brothers are going to have the Black Panther, which will have the turret of a Panther tank. Probably without the barrel. The Tiger is going to have the barrel, the Tiger. But the Panther is probably going to have like a Gatling gun or something like that instead. First of all, the whole reason I'm using a Panther is because, and it won't be standard Panther camouflage. It's going to be like dark, you know. You didn't take me? Yeah, it was another life. It was a lifetime ago. I mean, I quit on March 28th, 1998. That was a long time ago. But I did for 8 years. It's, you know, it happens. It was the 90s, man. It was cool then. Cigarettes were $2 a pack. What are they now? 8? They take over your fucking life, though. You don't think they do, you know? You think you're like, let me just have a cigarette. Well, let's see. Well, let me have one before dinner. And then after dinner, like, let me have one after dinner. And I was like, well, I'm going to go shower. Well, before I shower, let me have another one. Well, maybe a second one after that. You know, it's just like, your whole schedule ends up being around those damn things. And you don't really realize it. And you step back and you're like, what the fuck, man? Everything's being decided by, you know, by this thing. And it feels just like freaking caffeine. It's just the same thing as caffeine. You know, it's that energy. It helps you think, you know. But, you know, it will fucking kill you if you do it your whole life. It will eventually fucking kill you. Now, I've known people that are like, I just have one a day. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how you have one a day. Now you read about people like like Eisenhower and people like that. People like in the war. Eisenhower was like, and who else was I reading? I read about it recently. They were smoking like John Wayne. John Wayne was like 8 packs. I mean, some ridiculous number that you're like, he's got to be like one after the other, like 8 packs a day or something like that. Like, how did you live to be 20? You know, Eisenhower was like 5 packs a day or whatever. Well, he had a lot of weight on his shoulders on it, but you know, like that shit will fucking kill you. It's amazing how many you can have before it like has the effect. I mean, you think about it, it's like it's a lot, you know. That is some time ago. I used to smoke, but quit a few years ago. I tried 1 or 2 a day, but that turned into 3 and 4, and then yeah. No, it's you know. Would you agree? It's like coffee. I mean, it's what it is. It's like an energy boost. You know. Plus, there's the nicotine effects, which you don't really realize that you have while you're on it. It just ends up being like, you know. I mean, I never realized that it was involved in that. It's fun though, and it helps you think. So when I started doing it is I'm like, I ended up doing the patch, which the patch was at that time was like for 10 weeks, and it was expensive. It was the same price as like basically smoking 2 packs a day, and I put the patch on. Immediately when I put the patch on, like I could feel like that first drag that you did in the morning, you know, on your veins in your neck. You know, we're talking about cigarettes, by the way, not heroin. And I'm like, as soon as I felt that, I'm like, this is gonna work. I'm like, this will work. This will work. This will take away the need for that. And then I told everybody that I'm gonna quit, because I didn't want to like be, oh, you're that fucking guy that said you were gonna quit and you didn't, you know. So I basically backed myself into a corner. And fortunately, I never smoked at work. I never smoked at work. Like it was like I was doing something forbidden or whatever. And that was really handy because now I didn't have to like, you know, it wasn't like built into my psyche to do that. So yeah, it was like another lifetime ago. Like I can't imagine like, oh, you did that? Like it was just a thing, you know? So and then I would go outside with my coffee and then pace back and forth with my coffee like it was the same. You know, you had to wean yourself. You know, the patch will take care of the physical thing, but the mental stuff you have to like do something else that, you know, wean yourself off of that. And then eventually it's like I can't even imagine. But I didn't. So 5 weeks in, I'm like, it was time to go to the lower dosage patch. I'm like, "No, I'm done," and I've never relapsed. You know, and I never will. I mean, because it's like, you know, at this point, it's like, what? I'm not gonna like say I haven't been able, you know. No, how long you quit? Well, it was 20, you know, however many years, and then oh well, I started again. Like that's a loser thing. I don't want to do that, you know. One of your Gaslands vehicles should be called cigarettes. Well, there's got to be more to it than that, you know. It's gotta be- I mean, I have some redneck names. Let's see. I made a list. I don't know what vehicle they're going to go with, but oh, that's not it. I got tons of little books with shit written down on them. Nope, that's not it either. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? Do. Oh, come on. I just saw it the other day. Okay, puddle hopper. There's gonna be a puddle hopper. I think that's gonna be the little duck jeep. Dirt dauber. Dirt dauber really needs to look like that. What's that thing called? Dirty. Dirty Cooter, yeah. Dirt Dauber, yeah, just some mud ass truck. Rust Bucket. Spit Stain. That's it. That's all I got. Spit Stain is gonna be a truck that's it's gonna have all kinds of stains and dip stains on the side. It's gonna be extra stained in that part. But I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a pair of station wagons next, or at least I'm gonna do a station wagon next. And since we're talking about it, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it now. It's going to take Justin's name. The vehicle that I was going to build for Justin, and the only reason I'm not doing it is because, well, when I found out your vehicle was white, and I saw something, I saw the name on a meme, I'm like, that's great. We can work you into it, and I realized I actually have a vehicle that is damn near all white, and I saved it for my Africa project, which I'm probably never going to get to. And that's this vehicle right here. This is like a 60-something Ford something or another. It's not clear-coated, but it will be. Let's find out what it is. It's written on the bottom. I mean, it has white walls. It has wheels that are, what is this thing? It is a made in China. Thanks. That's useless. 2002 Playing Mantis. It's some kind of... It's cool. Anyways, the name of this vehicle will be All Whitey Then. Oh, there's a wheel inside. How the F did that happen? This is going to be All Whitey Then. Because it's literally all freaking white. So this is being bought back from Africa. I don't know what we're going to have on it. Probably should have rockets or something. I don't know. There's the windows for it. You like the name? Yeah. If I find a CRV, though, we'll build one. And again, you're not in there. That's for your own good, right? I mean, one of my cars is, I got a WRX that's silver. I paid a lot of money for it. It's the most expensive car I have. It's going to be Sabrina. We also have this. Oh, this thing. Okay, yeah, this is the vehicle I think that is the daddy. Oh no, I've got this. Oh, this is like the Kennedy car. Oh, this is fair game then. This guy is fair game. This is a beautiful vehicle. I don't know what it is. It's a beautiful old vehicle. These are all Johnny Lightnings. Okay. No, we're gonna gasland it. We're gonna gasland this fucker. This looks like some pimpy guy. Some pimpy dude. I got a lot of helicopters. When that helicopter guy comes back, I got 3 or 4 head of helicopters we can talk about. But look at this thing. This is like a Dodge. This is a cool vehicle, but this is like perfect. This is like a perfect technical from like the 1960s. Will the car be a villain? All the cars are villains. There's no nice people. You don't want any of these guys around your children. No, everybody's a villain. Everybody's a dickhead. Yeah, all whitey then. Yeah. Every car I want it to be a play on words. Every car. It's part of the humor in it. Although I'm not going to post pictures of this car on the Gaslands group. There'll be people out there have to change their tampon. They'll get their tampon in a twist. I'm Generation X, man. We make fun of everything. all in good fun. Okay. Yeah, we just need to give this guy a clear coat. I mean, literally, the rims are white too. It's like perfect. And it's not some white supremacist. It's just a friggin' white car. I mean, he could be, but doesn't exactly exude badass in a station wagon. But yeah, you will trigger. Well, people, you can't back down from people because it's never going to be good enough. No matter what you do, it's never good enough. It's never good enough. So stop catering to people. Just when that 5-letter C word was happening 5 years ago, no matter what you did, it wasn't good enough. Oh, you need to wear a mask. Okay, wear a mask. You need to get the shot. Okay, I got the shot. Oh, you need to wear a mask and the shot. Okay, I got that. All right, we need to stand 6 feet away from me. Jesus fucking Christ. I agree. I think everybody should, you should be whatever the fuck you want to be, right? You should be allowed to be whatever you want. You should have the freedom to, if you want to smoke marijuana, smoke marijuana, Just make sure if other people don't want to smell, they don't have to smell it, If you're on your property, you can do whatever the hell you want, But not like I can do whatever the hell I want, but you can't because, if you don't want to like a certain group of people, you don't like a certain group of people. That's fine. You suffer the consequences, but, If you don't want to bake a cake for somebody, don't fucking bake a cake for somebody. But maybe you're not going to get any business from people or, whatever, I don't bake a cake for anybody. Yeah, you never got the shot. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with that. I've always gotten my shots. I've never gotten a flu shot because I didn't feel like I needed it. And it's a pain in the ass. Another trip to the doctor. And I didn't necessarily have a problem with saying you needed to have a shot. I have a problem with you got to have the shot. Oh, and then you also have to wear the mask. Well, why fucking get the shot then? But do whatever you want, Oh yeah, I mean these little rust drippings make a huge difference. It just kind of ties everything in together. I don't want people telling me you gotta have an electric car. I don't want a fucking electric car. Mind your own business. Or you gotta take public transportation. I took public transportation when everybody had a fucking car. I ain't taking it now. Because you do all that stuff and then you have all this freaking irony. Like, you got to throw your garbage. You got to throw your garbage in here. You throw recycle in here, and then you do all that recycling, and then the people in the recycling place just throw it in the fucking garbage can anyways. Well, why am I jumping through hoops trying to do the right thing, and then people try to guilt you out of something, and then they're just throwing it in the fucking garbage can? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this is a redneck rust bucket. It's just like this Homer guy's aunt's car or something like that, I don't, I left the little lights it came with on the back. I think they look good enough. Kind of looks like a Cadillac. In a way. Pink Cadillac. If I keep coming out here, I'm going to run out of stuff to paint. I got way too much stuff done. You're welcome. No additional charge. Good. You guys being on here makes me get stuff done too. You know, we'll all win together. You'll get so much stuff painted, you'll stop buying Matchbox cars. Nah, it doesn't really matter what we're doing, you know? It doesn't really matter. I used to paint with people in person and they would work on one thing and I'd work on something different. It doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant. No, never liked them. Never cared for them. Yeah, they smell horrible. Can't do that now. It still counts as, you know, something I haven't done since '98. You know, so nope. You know, when you're doing that stuff, you're impervious of like worrying about if it causes cancer. And then you stop, you're like, man, I dodged a bullet, maybe. You know, it's like, let's not do that again. You know? I think this thing's looking pretty darn good. Or at least it's kind of looking how I wanted it to look. You know, a pink car can only look so good. I mean, it's a dorky looking car. I mean, it's, you know. But it's much improved with the wheels that it has. No, and that was the Jeep. That's the undercarriage of that Willys Jeep that was too large. And, I mean, I like the wheels and everything. I was for about a year bourbon. Yeah, I prefer the whiskey that's not bourbon. That doesn't mean I don't like bourbon. I'm just saying that I prefer it to be less sweet. It settles better. Let's put it that way. Settles better in your head, but not in the stomach. We don't have stomach issues. I don't know that I need to do more to it than how it is right now. And I don't know what this big blower is up here. I felt like I needed something on the roof, and this is what it ended up getting. Right or wrong, this is what it got. I do need to take a picture of this and find out exactly what it is. I'm going to say it's some kind of Ford something or another. It doesn't have a code on the bottom of it. number 16. Let's see. I'm going to say that's like a 1961 Ford station wagon. Although it may not be a Ford. Let's see. Let's do a Johnny. I mean, I got this thing a long time ago, like 15 years ago for sure. Johnny Lightning 016. That did not work. Okay. Johnny Lightning, white, station wagon. Does anything open on it? Does the trunk open? Does the hood open? It does not, which is unusual. Okay, so it's not this one. Here it is. 1964 Ranch wagon. Oh, it's done. You want me to take a picture of it? Well, I think it's done. It's got to be clear coated. You know, even though this is fantasy, you're still dealing with real vehicles, so. Oh. All right. Lights came out great. Once you find out how to paint lights, it's like awesome. And I really had a hard time getting away from blue. There's just something in there you think, all right, they got to be bluish or light blue or something like that. And then I saw somebody do them like this in gray. I don't know where I saw it. I'm like, yep, I like how that is. As long as they're round, you know. Then otherwise, you got to, you know. But this has got round headlights. This has got round headlights. This got round headlights. This has got round headlights. Most vehicles have round headlights, you know. Most vehicles have round headlights. So yeah, I think this looked pretty good. You know, I think it looks pretty cool. You know. But I got a pickup truck that's lifted. I want to say it's red and white. Definitely a redneck vehicle, and it's probably going to be the one that's spit stain. Yeah, it's. I think the very first one that I did, that I nailed it, was my Opel Blitz trucks. My Opel Blitz trucks. I was like, dang, and these are old like Airfix ones, and. I gotta take a picture of it. I can't. These were the first headlamps that turned out. I did them kind of in the same way. Well, I think they're a little bit better now, but you know, it's dark gray, and it's a crescent on the bottom. Come brightening up, and then you've got that crescent on the bottom, and then you've got this dark thing, and you got a little gleam at the top. But the gleam's got to be like in a dark zone, and you know it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I like it. You know, it looks it's stylized, but stylized. I like it, but it's something I struggled with. I struggled with like doing it and like being happy with the results. You know, so and it's easy to do. Now, I had to get creative when I had to do lights that weren't round. And I think I'm happy with how those turned out as well. You know, so, all right. We could still be on if you want. I'm going to go check on the lady, and then we will see which direction we go. Be right back. Try it with a microphone on. The Dune Dudes. I thought I had more Dune Dudes car than I do, but I guess I don't. You know, you got some more to do. I thought you were ran out. You can always buy more. I'm a firm believer in a little bit of self control. Be like, you know what? I don't really need it, but be happy with like the stuff that you have, not be happy with what you don't have. I hate to sound like a anti-capitalist, but stuff doesn't make you happy. Not having any stuff also does not make you happy, but you know what I'm saying. So, all right, let's take a look at some vehicles that are kind of ready to go. This is some Nerd Burglar mobile, and I kind of lost steam on it because I don't have any figures that I like or that would be nerdy enough for these guys. Then we got this. This is going to be somebody's tank. I don't know who it's going to be. Probably Mexicans. I thought this was a Volkswagen, but this is actually an Australian vehicle. So. This is an old mean green. In other words, these guys have already been clear coated and brown washed. Not that it's important, but And then this thing, which, if you know anything about cars, this vehicle right here doesn't make any sense. Okay, it is a El Camino, which is a front engine vehicle, yet it has a massive engine back here, right? El Caminos have the engine in the front. I would bet a sizable sum that they have. So why would you have the engine back here also? Let's see. Let's confirm that. What year is it? In case they did some kind of crazy thing. I'm gonna say 68. 68. Wow. 1968 El Camino engine location. Yeah, it's in the front, longitudinally mounted, driving the rear wheels. Yeah. Yeah, so this is just like a make-believe, this is make-believe horse shit right here. You got this massive engine. It's got two engines, But the good thing about El Caminos is they can be, because they're a car that's a truck, so they could be either one. They're believable to be either one of them. We sure this is there we go. Oh, this is a case that I drilled it out, but it sealed itself back up. All right, so we need to. This needs to get the treatment. The bad thing about it is the color, and it's not that this is a bad color. It just doesn't. The drippings don't work well on a color this dark. They're not as prominent. Nothing wrong with this color. Maroon. Maroon color. There we go. That should be, thank you, that should be all it takes. Yeah, so these guys are, those guys are ready to go. What else we have here that's being taken apart? We've got some British vehicles, but none of them have been, oh, have we given this guy the wash? Rice Cube. My Asian rapper. Well, that's a Chinese dragon. He's Chinese. Rice Cube. It's a vet. Oh, you fuck up now. I think this has a wash on it. But why does it say G on it? I know, G Money. Well, but that's not his name, you know? That guy's good to go as well. Any of these other British vehicles have a wash on them? This guy does not. But this guy, the butler, the battle butler, disgruntled battle butler, it's a Morris, what's this called? Morris Minor. Minor intrusion, minor, you can do all kinds of things. Ford Anglia, that's not it. I don't think I'm going to Gaslands this thing. This is like a World War II. You made a rapper character for someone called Little Bedbug. Yep, that certainly works. I personally hate rap music, but, it's not about me. It's not about me. Oh, that doesn't go there. Does this one go here? Yeah, we're not doing little minor guys. Jeeves, that's what I called him, the Jeeves. Remember Ask Jeeves? And there was like this little butlery dude there. I think we're gonna do Rice Cube. Now, it's got dragon all over it. What does that mean, folks? It's a flamethrower! Exactly. It is a flamethrower. It's done educational programming. Okay, kids, what do you think this means? Grizzly bear, written on the side. Grizzly bear trail rider. Grizzly bear and this happy-go-lucky, Margaritaville blue that doesn't go together. And this is a really interesting vehicle. Obviously, a British vehicle. And the stuff that's written on it, it's got London 03, okay, that's cool. Roll Patrol UK, okay. But then the top of it says, Bobby's on board. So, yeah, bobbing for apples. Some kind of Bobby thing. So, Bobby Boucher. You can do it. Not with that. Why would I know that? I've literally seen that movie one time. A Flammenwerfer. All right, let's build this bitch out. Let's build this bitch out. Where is my pencil? Yeah, I remember Ask Jeeves, exactly. Okay, so we've got Rice Cube. Rice Cube is a performance car. Really could be a dragster, but dragsters I don't think work really well. Performance car. 15 points. 2 build slots. Flamethrower is 2 build slots, and I believe it's 4 points. Now here's where you can really screw with things, okay? You could make this, I'm not going to, you could make this an ice cream truck. That is the water boy, yes. You could make this an ice cream truck. Well, why would you want to do that? Because the ice cream truck gets a free annoying jingle. So the jingle could be like, this guy's playing some ding, 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 shit all the time, right? Driving everybody fucking crazy with that music, The question is, what are the performance numbers of... So just because it doesn't have to be a performance vehicle. Let's see. Ice cream truck, first of all, is haul 10. All right, that's reasonable. Handling 2, not reasonable. Okay, like you can't do that. There's a skill that you could jack up the handling, but you jack it up to 3. So that is not a 3 handling vehicle that moves at 4. Like that's a 5 vehicle, so that doesn't work. But I've got that big Asian truck that has a cat on it or whatever. It might make that an ice cream truck, or ice cream truck troop type, unit type. Okay, so back to what we're doing. Flamethrower. Oh, shit! I zoomed out of it here. There we go. No, back in. Come on. Flamethrower and may or may not have Molotov cocktails, but that's the only weapon it can have. That's the only weapon it can have. It needs to have smoke, because it's a dragon, right? So it's got to have a smoke dropper. Flamethrower was how many points? 4. So now we're at 20. Okay, we need 7 more points. Sounds like the boy gets some perks. All right, let's go to tuning. Oh. I don't have a purring. I don't have any vehicles that do purring. This vehicle does not gain more than 1 hazard token from spin results each activation. This vehicle does not gain more than 1 hazard token from slide results each activation. So basically, if you roll 2 spins and you want to play a spin, and spins are great. The problem is you can only play 1, but if you roll 2 spins, you'll get hazards from both of them. This guy would only get 1. This vehicle does not gain any more than 1 hazard token from hazard results each activation. Purring is 6. Okay. Skiing. This vehicle has a handling of 3 or higher. The vehicle may take 3 hazard tokens at the end of its movement step to be ignored by other vehicles during their movement steps until the start of this vehicle. Okay, so it's basically like cloaking in a way. I like purring. Supporting is 6. That leaves them with 1 point, so we're going to do Molotovs. For 1. There's your 27 points. Okay, let's pick a flamethrower. This one. So, it originally had a big G up here. Okay, it still has G's on the door. I think we could kind of obfuscate that a little bit. It's got a dragon, so it's going to be a fire-breathing dragon. Is there any other kind? You know? It's a vet. It's like a 70 vet. 70, 71 vet, something like that. With body kit on it. You can tell on the back. There's the original vet part, and then there's the body kit to it. I've actually already made with chat. I think I've showed this to you. Maybe I haven't. I've actually made an ad for it. Let me show that to you. Okay. I think the easiest way is to go to images. Oh, we'll go to images. All the images that we made. Hold on. And there's a fuck ton. And let's go to Rice Cube. Why didn't that work? I should have downloaded that. It should have. Okay. I was just kind of playing around with it. Rice Cube, Rice Baby, walk this way to Death Rally. And look, it gave me a little Asian dude with a rice picker hat. Well, he was really cute. Asian Devastation, no MSG, just MPG. It did all that on its own. It's like wasabi tacos, Asian Devastation, yeah. That is a cute logo. All right, we got some cool flamethrowers we never used before. And it's going to be mounted right here on that spot. Okay, these are some of them. I think you should that one, because I remember they showed me that kind of Asian guy hat. Yeah, it's cute. I didn't pick that. Just like when I did that Calavera guy with the oh, that's some useful stuff too. For the Mexicans, they came up with an adorable dude, you know. That's what you use chat. That's what you use AI for, not making up fake videos. Here's some more flamethrowers. Not for creating an environment where nobody can trust anything. Maybe G's the guy's name. Can I call you Rice Cube? No, you can call me Jerry. or Gerald or whatever the hell he goes for. There is, oh, okay, there's like these barrels of something. There's like these, that's why I pulled this out, because they've got these drums of something. Yeah, I like that. That'll be the smoke. The smoke comes out of that thing. Sometimes it comes out of nowhere. Sometimes there's a thing on there that adds something to it. That gas lands it up a little bit. Gas land it up. Weird AI videos, that tank video. Yeah, there's some good stuff on there, but then it's like, it's like I say about AI. AI is helpful to make you make decisions, but at the end of the day, you need to make the decision. You can be like, no, I want that, I don't want that. That doesn't really go with the feel, You can't just let it just run hog wild. All right. This ugly ass thing is for a turret, and it's very poorly done. It's like an old castings or whatever. Okay, this one's cool. That one's cool. The problem with it is you're going to flame you're going to put, well, any of them, you're going to shoot forward, you're going to go over the dragon, and I'm not going to do burn marks over it. So this one's pretty cool. This is pretty cool too, but kind of minimalist. So this one's winning. What is this? This is another flamethrower, but really could be some kind of a freaking cannon. This is similar to this one, except it's the female end. Okay. It's not bad. It doesn't look super flamethrowery. Look, if it's a fire-breathing dragon, it needs something that looks like a damn flamethrower, because, So that one's good. So's that one. I like that it's got almost like that little thing that on the end. It lights it. I like this one. I like this one. Has a little tip on the end. And we're going to put those barrels on the back. There's just more smoke. Oh, what was this? Oh, a stickum. Okay. And what's in here? Oh, these are like lasery things. Oh, there's one here that's a flamethrower. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and save the package and we'll dump all these together. Now these are all cool, but just that one's cooler. Nah, I don't want to get into. I don't want to get into Nazis. I don't want to get any Nazis. I got other stuff for Nazi things. I got Germans, but they don't even have an Iron Cross on them. There's more to Germany than 1914 and 1945. I got other games for that. Okay, so this is going to be here. I am going to. Do we want to do any kind of armor on it? I don't think so. It has kind of a red interior, and I don't think I even want to do. I don't know that I want to do mesh. First of all, it's got a real curvy front. It would take a while. I don't want to fuck up in the dragon. The dragon looks good. I could do the mesh on the sides. Just on the sides, and the front's, bulletproof or whatever. Whatever you want to imagine it to be. If I did this is going to end up being red. Yeah, I think we could Gasland up the sides. Gasland up the sides here. Yeah, I've had this thing done for a little while. Well, the reality is I can go ahead and hot glue gun this thing because we're not doing anything. I'm fine with the wheels it has. It's got like racing slick. It's got red little rims on it. That's going away. I'm not even going to repaint it. Like, we'll leave it on there. By the time we weather it, you won't even be able to tell it it's red like that. That's why I want to do tanks. I don't really want the tanks to be that World War II-ish or anything like that. I don't. I've done hundreds of tanks. Like, okay, let's do something. Let's do something a little different. Rice cube, yeah. What are the doors on this thing like? I had a friend of mine who had a Corvette about this vintage, but it was a convertible. Yeah, it was a convertible. So it's got to have something on the corners there. And you'd ride that thing, and everybody be looking at you, like it was black, and it's kind of beat up. I mean, it was like, you know, not a good, not a balanced ride. Not a balanced ride. And it's funny. I thought, man, that's a really old car, but at the time, it was like 20 years old. So that'd be like having a 2006 car, which is not an old car. All right, we're gonna we're gonna prime this, but what we're interested really in is the underside. That's the part that's going to be really difficult to reach if I don't do it ahead of time. I can do it. It's just going to take a whole lot of effort when I shouldn't be spending effort on that. And this is kind of rough. You can kind of see like the 3D. This is FDM or whatever it is printing. So I may end up not being happy with what this actually looks like, but we'll give it a shot because it does add something to the car that's not, the civilian version. Well, it's an Asian team. Wouldn't I just be able to put Indian people on that team? No. India's not Asia. India's India. Sorry. I wouldn't do that in DBA. Hey, it's an Asian theme. Oh, cool. Can I use Indians? No, it's Far East. India is India. So this guy could be with the brothers, right? Or with the Asian team. All right, let's get a little bit of primer. That's more than a little bit, but whatever. And same thing with this one. We're going to make sure we prime the parts that are towards the bottom. Especially these hard to reach places. I'm not going to put any on the underside. That'll just make it, the glue stick even not as well. But yeah, you can paint this really quick now. You put it underneath there and you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful-ish. Walk this way. Ding, 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 ding. The whole point is that every vehicle should be fun to play. Entertaining and fun to play, every single one. I could do Gaslands half track. I could. I thought about when I got this to actually take the wheels off the back and put tracks back here. So that's definitely, as I've got some half tracks to do that would fit on there beautifully. Yep, absolutely. That's a cool old truck. I don't know if it's based on anything, but it's definitely a cool looking truck. And it's got the headlamps up here. It's got another set of headlamps there. It's got a winch. Dirty mutter trucking. No, we can do better than that. But these actually have Matchbox written on the tires. I'm probably going to grind that off. Because as soon as you dry brush it, that's going to stand out. Yeah, don't really want that. Don't really want that there. You're almost done with one army of the Greeks, and before I paint another 100 homopolites, I might try a car. I want to build Hans Hoff, the driverless AI car. Well, there's a car I saw. Hold on. Hot Wheels. And I saw this thing. Hold on a second. It's not called WhatsApp. It's called Hot Wheels. That had a bunch of solar panels on it. I'm not saying to do this for that guy. Is it Solar Reflex? It's Solar Reflex. Okay. Let me show you a picture of Solar Reflex. This is one version. This is not the one that I saw. But it has a bunch of solar panels on it, right? So I want to put like something that looks like a fork as a ram underneath it, and you call it What the Fork. You know, ram people with like a big fork. No, I mean, obviously not a real, but something that looks forkish. Like maybe you use a plastic fork and somehow modify it. What the, the whole top of it is. What the fork? Hans Hoff. Well, it's got to be a German car. Okay, so Hot Wheels, um, probably a Porsche. Porsche electric. Well, they make that Porsche Taycan, but I don't know that that's a driverless car. I mean, they make lots of Teslas. Is there a driverless car? That is a what the fork were they thinking? There you go. German car. Yeah, Hans, gotta be German. Gotta be German. You know, done. Um, okay, here's an ad for a pack of 8 vehicles. Actually, I have to show you guys this. I've never seen this one, but if I saw this set, I'd be buying it because look at the cars that come in it. That is a great freaking set. What is this thing? But then if you click on it, okay, this is an ad for like Walmart. I'm like, oh, okay, click on it, and then you get something completely different. You know, you don't get to pick what the cars are that come in that, and they're usually actually not a bargain. They're cheaper to buy them individually. Like that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so let's go. Is there a driverless Porsche electric? While Porsche does not offer a fully driverless autonomous car, its electric vehicles, the Taycan Macan Electric and upcoming Cayenne Electric, feature advanced driver assistance systems, including adaptive cruise control. Well, that's not even close to it, and optional automated parking lane keeping capabilities. These systems seem provide semi-autonomous capabilities rather than full autonomy. Yeah, so it seems like that's the one to do. And they make it. I don't know if they make it in any color other than white. Porsche Taycan, white. Nope. Porsche Taycan, Hot Wheels. They make it in white. They make it in green too. That's a beautiful green. They don't have anything for driverless cars, but they could have some perks that are in the technology. So let me read you what the technology perks are. Well, you could just say, look, there's a guy in there, but he ain't doing anything. You know, he's playing with his wiener or whatever. You know, and his why his name's Hans off. You know, technology. Okay, so here's the technology perks. Rocket thrusters. When this vehicle is moved as part of a flip, it may choose to use the long straight veer or gentle templates instead of the medium straight template. So it goes off like when it's getting ready to wreck, you know, when it's getting ready to flip over or whatever, it can move in weird ways. So that doesn't really apply to that. Whiz bang. At the start of each game, this vehicle gains a random speed perk. This perk is lost at the end of the game. So it's like different every single time you do that. Okay. Probably wouldn't use that either. Gyroscope. One costs 1 point. At the start of the game, this vehicle gains a random daring perk. This perk is lost at the end of the game. Satellite navigation. My electric vehicle, Sir Jagoff, has this. It's 2 points. When this vehicle resolves its skid dice, this vehicle's controller may set aside one shift result. This vehicle may have any number of shift results set aside. Any vehicle in this team may use these set aside shift results during a later movement step as if they had rolled them up in that movement step. So basically, a die, half of the time you're going to get a shift. 1/6 of the time it's a hazard. Another sixth of the time it's a spin, and another shift of the time it's other sixth of the time it's a slide. So odds are you're going to get a shift. So every time you get a roll shift, that allows you to like change gears and stuff like that. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe you're already in the gear you need to. But when you roll those dice, any of those shifts, you can pass those on to other people. I guess you're helping them navigate. Mobile mechanic, once per activation at the start of it, basically can repair damage. Doesn't really seem like a driverless car to me, but maybe that's what Hans Hoff is doing, you know? Hans Hoff is definitely better than Hans Hoff. Absolutely. Eureka. Once per game, this is 4 points. Once per game at the start of its attack step, this vehicle controller may declare any weapon that this vehicle has not attacked with yet this game. This vehicle counts as being armed with a declared weapon on a facing of their choice for the next attack only. Oh, it's only once per game. That doesn't work. I don't see anything in there that just speaks, you know. Now, there's a thing called where you can like increase your maneuverability by 1. And doing that on a vehicle that's already super maneuverable could be pretty cool. I'm trying to think what the hell it's called. Stunt driver is pretty cool. Basically, you just ignore obstructions. You know, it costs you. You get 3 hazards, but you can ignore obstructions. Yeah, they don't have anything specific to that. All right. Want to see something fucked up? Watch this. You'll appreciate this. I don't know if we'll get anything, but you can actually, this actually works. There's enough of this on here. So I'm going to go to my chat GPT, and I'm going to go in the Gaslands subheading. And I'm going to speak it because I'm lazy. Please create some perks that, if for Gaslands, that would be pertinent to a vehicle that is driverless. Now let me take my stutter shit out of it. Please create some perks for Gaslands that would be pertinent to a vehicle that is driverless. Watch this. Love this concept. Of course you do. I came up with it. They always say that. It kisses your ass so much. A driverless vehicle in Gaslands opened up some really fun, slightly unhinged design space. Here are some custom perks that feel thematic, balanced, and very Wasteland AI gone wrong. Okay, I gotta be careful because I just glanced at one of them and I'm like, yeah, I could fucking do this stuff too. Because remember, I'm not running this in a tournament. I'm just trying to balance things out. Driverless vehicle perks. This one's called Ghost in the Machine. Great freaking name. This vehicle has no driver, but something is behind the wheel. This vehicle is immune to driver injuries and driver-related effects. There's like distraction and stuff, but there's no driver injuries. Okay, so that kind of applies. Cannot benefit from perks that require a driver. When this vehicle wipes out, roll a die. On 1 to 2, it behaves as if it had a random gear change next activation. Doesn't really work. Autonomous targeting system. Cold calculated destruction. When making a shooting attack, you may ignore one point of cover. That doesn't apply. However, if no vehicle is an enemy in arc, the vehicle must target the nearest vehicle, friend or foe. That's kind of cool. Signal interference. The AI isn't always stable. At the start of its activation, roll a die. 1 to 2, the vehicle must move straight ahead, no turns. 3 to 4, normal activation. 5 to 6, gain 1 hazard but 1 attack die this turn. Last directive. It will complete its mission no matter what. When reduced to 0 hull, instead of being destroyed immediately, it may take 1 final activation. After that activation is removed from play. That's pretty cool. Remote override. Someone somewhere is still watching. Once per game, you may fully control this vehicle's movement and attack with +1 to all rolls. Cannot be used if the vehicle is the last one remaining on your team. Learning algorithm. It adapts mid-battle. Each time this vehicle hits with an attack, place a data token, maximum of 3. Spend tokens, 1 token to reroll a die, 2 tokens to ignore a hazard, 3 tokens to gain +2 attack dice for 1 attack. That's cool. That's cool. I don't know how you would balance that. It doesn't tell you how much it costs, but, if you're just GMing it, this is cool. Unpredictable core logic core. It doesn't think like a human, and that's a problem. Once per activation, you may reroll any number of dice, but opponent chooses 1 die afterwards and forces a reroll. I don't know what it's trying to say there. The opponent chooses 1 die afterwards and forces a reroll. I don't think that really worked. Fail-safe purge protocol. If it goes down while it's taking someone with it. When destroyed, immediately make a free explosion attack. So what, you get 2? This attack gains 2 attack dice. Okay. Precision driving matrix. No fear, no hesitation. Ignores the first hazard gained each turn. Cannot voluntarily wipe out to gain benefits. That doesn't make any sense, the second part. That doesn't work. No survival instinct. It cannot protect itself. Cannot evade, but gains 1 attack die on all attacks. Okay, that's actually reasonable. Bonus naming ideas for driverless cars, because you'll want one. Dead man's steering wheel. Auto malice. Neural wreck. The driver deleted. The driver deleted. Control Alt Destroy. Widowmaker EXE. Cruise Control Carnage. I don't know. The chat's fucking great. I mean, it's, even if you don't go with any of those, you start thinking, oh, okay, I could do, that kind of thing. I like the one where it can move after destruction, the one that moves in weird directions. Yeah, so the thing is the way I look at it is, I can do whatever I want with a game, right? You set up your teams and let the people pick what they want to play. It's not like you get an award or anything if you win or something. It's just a good narrative. So, the balancing thing is let the people pick. I like all the vehicles. I don't want to just run the game because, I want to make decisions on driving. Hey, I'm a fucking good driver. Just saying, So, all right, now we got the bottom of these things primed, and now we can super glue them down. Make sure we super glue the correct side. Don't be an idiot. And this is not turreted, so. And then this is going to be like so. Now I'm going to use a slow super glue so I have time to adjust it. Chat's awesome. it helps you, think. It's like a brainstorming session with your buddies. Is what it is. Oh, I don't have any buddies around right now. Okay, well, let's ask it. Opens the pores in your brain, and sometimes it doesn't come up with, you can't take it as a word of God. I mean, you have to, that's why you have a brain. But to be like, oh, it's AI, so it's garbage. I'm like, we're almost out of this. And now we should be able to continue painting because all the spots that need painting are at the top. But every vehicle that I've picked is worth doing. They're all interesting. It does do pretty good. Well, if you've seen, I'm really patient about a lot of things. I'm really patient about things that would drive some people crazy. Right? Like, I don't care about doing the drippings. Like, it's therapeutic, going through the process, and it's like, you don't need to rush it. It's enjoyable. That kind of stuff. What I'm really impatient about is typing things and fat fingering things. So I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable with. There's things I've misspelled or said incorrectly, and chat knew what I was getting at. So that just saves me time. Especially as I've gotten older, I get more fumbly. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not tripping over myself or anything, but I bump into things I don't normally bump into, and or I'll put letters that are next to the other ones. I mean, the keyboard on the phone is. I have a big phone, but it's still pretty freaking tight. So. All right, so I think this is where we're going to stop. We'll give a chance for these things to dry. And I don't think I'm going to put the mesh on the windows. It's a weird angle, and it's going to frost them up anyways when I clear coat it. So I don't think I need to do that. Yeah, this thing's going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty fun. Hopefully, pretty funny. But yeah, my wife is a big user of that, and I'm glad you use it as well, because when I'm telling you funny stories about things that come up, you can kind of relate. It's entertaining, but you shouldn't let AI just take over your whole friggin' life. You should have a say in it. So, all right, folks, thanks